One father recalls an experience with his son at the beach, doing what many children do, collecting shells. Just towards the end of their trip, the father spotted a starfish washed up onto the beach. He excitedly encouraged his son to go pick up the starfish, but his son hesitated. He squatted to his son's eye level, told him not to be afraid and to go get the starfish. Daddy will be right here. His son ran to the starfish, looked at it, and ran back to his father. Confused, the father asked his son why he didn't pick up the starfish. He was right there. His son innocently replied, "Because I had shells in my hand." Balance in our lives is much like this son's internal war between shells and starfish. It wasn't that he was afraid, unable, or confused, but simply that he couldn't have both. His tiny hands could only hold so much. Similarly, we are bewildered by the world's encouragement to go get the starfish of life, to do it all and have it all, but we already have shells in our hands. Like this young boy, we must accept this simple truth that our tiny emotional hands can only hold so much. This requires focusing upon the people, values, and dreams we have said yes to, and thus by default saying no to everything else, all the other starfish that splash upon our path through life. In Luke chapter 14, verses 25 to 32, Jesus had amassed an enormous following. His popularity began to rival that of the temple leaders. Jesus saved one of his most decisive declarations for this moment. He challenged this vast multitude to understand that their desire for him and the kingdom of heaven required Christ to be first, to be valued above all relationships, all things, and even your own life. With this requirement outlined, he then illustrated his reasoning with a parable. For which of you, intending to build a tower, does not sit down first and count the cost, whether he has enough to finish it? Discipleship depends upon the truth that not everyone nor everything can be a top priority. Saying yes to Jesus demands that we say no to everyone and everything else when he is the cost. In the same sense, in our pursuit of balance, it requires us to sit down and count the cost, to recognize that this moment is the moment of decision, the decision regarding what we want to say yes to so that we know what to say no to. Imagine yourself enjoying a date night with your father or with your daughter because you said yes to balance. See yourself in the best shape of your life because you said yes to balance. Or enjoying a visit with your grandmother because you said yes to balance. Sit down and look at all the valuable shells in your hand. Decide to leave the sparkly starfish on the sands of life and choose balance.